So you guys are both students and you have been studying in Australia, at least until COVID hit. So could you tell me a little bit about what catalyzed your decision to choose Australia as a destination for overseas studies? Let's start with Chang.
The reason why I chose Australia as my first option for study abroad, because Australia has top ranked university with high living standard. Besides that, I feel like the peacefulness of Australian cities is alongside with the dynamic lifestyle. It's gonna make me want to choose Australia as my next destination.
What about you, Tùng? What attracted you to Australia before you arrived in the country?
I think the funniest reason was at that time I was deciding between studying in Singapore and Australia. The first reason is I think right at that time, University of Sydney and University of Mercury actually sent the offer to me first before Singapore.
Okay.
And then the second reason is my friends told me that studying in Singapore is much tougher than Australia. So,
were there any hiccups when you were preparing for your studies abroad?
For me, when I was applying to study in Australia, I was under 18. Actually, I was 16. Yeah, so I had a lot of difficulty with the paperwork and finding the guardian and finding the accommodation because I had to.
It's a big place.
Yeah, it's a big place. Every time when I want to go outside, I had to ask my guardian and my uni representative to ask for their permission. But the university representative and the government actually helped me a lot when I'm preparing my paper to apply. So I think the application process is pretty easy for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, you were kind of overwhelmed because you didn't really know where to start. But I think that's the thing I see a lot with Australian government websites. They're just so easy to navigate and so user friendly. So eventually you found your way around studying abroad. And what about you, Tùng?
I think most of the challenge is about adapting to a new culture. So the easiest thing to see is in Australia you travel from the left side instead of the right.
But driving in Australia is a true pleasure. It's really great to drive in Australia.
The scenery is just amazing.
Yeah, it's just breathtaking. You got the beautiful coastline, and it's got natural wonders all around you. So it's a country where I feel like I don't have to travel too far to get into some really interesting outdoors activities. So if you were to sum up your Australian study experience, what 3 adjectives would you use?
For me, 3 adjectives that I would pick is dynamic.
Obviously.
Yeah, eventful.
Eventful. Okay.
Yeah.
You met your boyfriend there?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Naturally.
Yeah, and independent.
Independent.
Because I have to learn to try to do everything by myself, from finalizing paperwork.
What 3 adjectives would you use though?
I think the first one is welcoming.
Welcoming, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that when I came to Australia, a lot of Vietnamese societies and friends, they are really friendly in welcoming me into the city and then into the social life there. Yeah. Second one, I think engaging.
Engaging. Okay.
Yeah.
Engaging.
There's a lot of activities you can do, from societies to uni fairs, and I think the one I remember the most is International Food Days, which is each student from each country prepare their own country national food kind of thing. So
okay. So I would say it's very happening. There's just always things happening at the same time.
It is.
And the final adjective?
Encouraging.
Encouraging.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of similar to welcoming, but I'll give you a pass on that one.
Yeah, because I think that there's a lot of talented people in Australia. Not not only Vietnamese people, but then internationally. So surrounding yourself by such talented people, it make you feel like you want to improve yourself. That's why I choose encouraging.